Alright guys, so somebody submitted a story to the forum that I showed in my last video, and this story is actually crazy, so we're gonna read it today. Also, if you're serious about going up in the underground, I have a private server. You can talk to me one-on-one in there. If you ever need advice, feedback, anything like that, you can hit me up and I got you. I'm also speedrunning the underground and documenting every single move that I make in that server. The link to apply is in the pinned comment if you want to get in. So yeah man, hey, let's get into the story though, cause this shit is crazy. A little over 2 years ago, I fell in love with small underground concerts. For some reason, I just loved the venues, the crowd, and the environment in general. The whole reason I started making music was because I wanted to be the person on stage. I wanted to be the artist. I started making music on BandLab and then eventually switched over to FL Studio. I'm gonna fast forward a lot because everything from here is just a regular come up story. I got a decent sized song off of TikTok, got a few features, sold a few features, and built a small fan base. You know what's funny is I feel like a lot of artists really do start because of live shows. I got really into the underground after seeing Osamason live in like 2024. And yeah, there's a real snowball effect there because imagine if I didn't go to that show. If I didn't go, that would be pretty weird because, you know, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel or music and I'd probably be in school and working a job. Man, Osamason really affected my life. That's crazy. Let's get back to the story though. So, in late 2025, I met a girl at an underground rap show. For this story, I'll just call her Amanda. Obviously, that is not her real name. We ended up spending pretty much the whole show hanging out. We exchanged numbers. We started to text daily after it, and we started hanging out a decent amount. We started to get pretty close pretty fast. There was definitely mutual interest, but we were only close for a few weeks before the event I'm about to explain happened. We were never even that serious, which only makes this situation even cringier. I had around 15,000 monthly listeners at the time all of this shit went down. Anyways, I got the chance to perform for the first time ever. Of course, I wasn't headlining, but I was opening for a well-known artist. I'm not going to say his name, but I can guarantee everybody in your audience knows him. The idea of performing for the first time was super exciting, but also terrifying. At least it was for me. Before I had some motion, performing live was seen as just a cool dream. Deep down, I think I thought I would never actually do it or get the chance to. But when I actually got the chance to lock in a slot on a lineup, it was like holy shit. I'm a pretty anxious person in general, if you can't tell, lol. I tried my best not to worry about it until the day of the show got closer. A few days before the day of the show, I started to actually get kinda excited. I didn't mention this, but I told Amanda about this show right after it got locked in. I asked her if she wanted to go with me on impulse, and she said yes. On the day of the concert, I picked her up and we drove to the venue. The vibes were great, and we were both pretty excited. We got to the venue, and it was actually pretty nice. It wasn't huge or anything, but it was cool. I'm sitting backstage with Amanda, and I'm excited, but I'm also super nervous. There was a lot of artists on the lineup, so there was a lot of people backstage. I was talking to the other artists, and they were passing around a huge joint. Real quick, I just want to say, I talked to this person in DMs, and they mentioned that it was a raw challenge cone, if you guys know what that is. I'm sure a decent amount of you guys know what that is, but hey, that's crazy, bro. The other rappers asked me if I wanted to hit it, and I declined at first. I thought if I hit it, I would get paranoid while performing and green out. Right after I declined it though, I folded and I changed my mind and just hit it. I have no clue what was in this joint, but this was easily the highest I've ever been. I don't think there was anything weird in it because the people that had it were cool and they were hitting it themselves, but I was not prepared for this high at all. Maybe I'm just used to smoking mid, I honestly have no clue. Instantly, I feel this wave of anxiety go over me. I think I was acting normal on the outside, but inside I was freaking out. I was fully greening out and all the excitement that I had vanished and turned into anxiety. I'm about to walk on stage and my heart is pounding. My song starts playing and the 808s are deadass making my whole body shake. This shit actually sounds like a fucking nightmare. Damn, this does not seem like a good situation at all. And like these shows are so loud, bro. That's one thing that I'm not loving about underground shows is that it's just so fucking loud, dude. This is super off topic, but me and my friend went to this show. This was like 2 years ago. Me and my friend went to this show and he had like this old Android and the speakers in the venue literally broke his phone, and I think he actually had to get a new phone. I'm not 100% sure. They gotta turn it down a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't even know how to explain it, but this honestly felt more like a bad trip. The combination of the anxiety plus being this faded was way too much. I walk on stage and instantly it was sensory overload. There was also a small side stage and a curtain where Amanda was watching me walk up on the stage. The performance for my first song wasn't good at all. Since I was the opener, people weren't really into it, and a lot of people were just standing there bobbing their heads, talking to their friends, etc. After the first song though, it did get better. I think some people in the crowd realized that I was kinda struggling, so they turned up harder to show that they cared. Shout out to them, that's real love right there. They were the ones that helped me hold it all together. It was definitely still pretty awkward though, and I feel like having Amanda there didn't help at all. I liked her and it really felt like I was performing for her instead of the crowd. To be honest, my set wasn't like a disaster though, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, my movements were weird due to greening out. It was overall just awkward because it was my first show. There's a few small audio problems like feedback on the mic after putting it too close to a speaker, but it could have been so much worse because of the state that I was in. When I finally got off stage, it felt like I just did the impossible. It felt good powering through, but also I know that my set wasn't that great. I went backstage and chilled for the rest of the night, and I was just happy that I faced my fear. But something was different now with me and Amanda. While we were in the car on the way home, Amanda was just acting weird, not talking very much, and just acting off. In the moment, I just wrote it off as maybe she's tired because it was like 1 AM and I was pretty tired as well. About a week after the show, me and her basically stopped talking. I don't know what it was 100% that made us stop talking, but everything was fine before I went on stage. The whole vibe was different after I got off. And just so you guys know, I did try to keep in contact. It's not like I was playing games. I don't know if it's because she was expecting a huge show with hundreds of people, if it's because my performance was like a 5 out of 10 at best, or if it's something totally unrelated. I'm not gonna lie, I did hype this event up to her before all of this happened. I was trying to be cool and act all big, but getting to the venue to see 50 people in the crowd for my set might have been a curveball. Like I said though, it could have been totally unrelated to the concert. For all I know, her ex could have texted her during my set. Fuck, bro. Okay guys, so this right here, this is gonna get crazy. Let's keep on going, but I don't even know what to say. This right here is what makes me think that it was related to the show. One day, I checked her reposts on TikTok and she reposted this video right here. Okay, so he actually linked the TikTok, so I'm gonna play it right now. Sadly, the song is copyrighted, so I can't play that, but I'll put in a good, I'll substitute it for something else, I guess. So that was the story of my first show. To anybody who's wondering, yes, I did do more shows after this. This one undesirable moment didn't make me want to never perform ever again. In my opinion, the most important lesson that I learned was to not treat your shows like a moment to impress someone. Going even further than that, don't treat your art as a moment to impress somebody. Your first show is for you and the people who paid to be there. Also, don't get too faded right before a very important moment in your life. Damn, so what a roller coaster that story was, bro. That shit was crazy. Shit, man. I feel like the moral here, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he kind of said it best. You know, that was actually a great message that he had at the end there. I am actually kind of wondering though, and I feel like everybody is a little bit, you know, what was it that made Amanda switch up and kind of pull back? But look, man, you know, this channel is about music advice. It's not really about relationship advice and all that. So we're not gonna be over here theorizing about what made her lose interest. But I don't know, bro. Look, if there's any upcoming artists that are watching this, and I'm guessing as a lot of you, you know, take this as a lesson. Do the music for you. Don't do it to try to impress people. Also, I do want to say real quick, if you want to submit a story, do it like this dude, because this shit was very entertaining. It was well written and it was detailed. You know, it was really, really detailed. I fucked with that. So if you want to be featured, maybe even get a dedicated video, be really detailed in your story, I guess. So yeah, man, if you want to submit a story, it's in the pinned comment. I think that's pretty much it. Hey, I'm glad you guys liked the last video where I talked about stories, because that shit was so much fun to make, bro. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. Stay safe, y'all.